A very warm welcome to Shomu's Biology Academy, and this is going to be a zoology lecture series video for all of you.
Hi, today we will discuss about the phylum Ctenophora. So it comes next to Nidaria. Habit and habitats of the organisms. So first of all, they are marine. So they are found in sea and they are specially abundant in warmer seas. So you will find these organisms in warmer seas. And these organisms love to stay free. So they are not sessile, they are not fixed. They move around the sea and they are free organisms. They are solitary, so they don't love to be in the colony, they don't love to be together, they love to be alone, so they are solitary animals. And they feed on small marine animals. So they feed on small marine animals, including the eggs and larvae of mollusks, crustaceans and fish. So that means they are carnivores. That means they are carnivorous because they eat other animals and their eggs, their larvae, so they eat like that. That's why they are carnivorous. Okay, so next is their body is bilaterally symmetrical. Okay, so what is bilaterally symmetrical? That means if this is the central axis and this is the right side and this is the left side. So the organs that are found in right side are exactly same that are found in left side. So they are exactly same or alike. So here you will get the mirror images of them. So left side is mirror image of right side and right side is mirror image of left side. So symmetrical or equal organs or tissue or parts you can find both in left and right sides. They have the tissue grade body organization. That means the cells are arranged in tissue. So they have the tissue grade body organization. And these animals are triploblastic. So they are triploblastic. That means they have three germ layers they have. So first is ectoderm, that is the outer layer. Then mesoderm, that is the middle layer. And then endoderm. So they have three layers of cells, that's why they are triploblastic. Transparent gelatinous bodies. So they are transparent. So they have glass-like transparency. From this picture you can understand that how much transparent their bodies are, right? And they have the gelatinous bodies, that means the jelly-like body. So they secrete some gelatinous substances and that is like jelly, and so you will get that gelatinous bodies in these organisms. They are commonly known as comb jellies. Okay, so they are known as comb jellies. They are not jellyfish, right? They are comb jellies. So jellyfish, we have seen jellyfish in the phylum Nigeria, right? And comb jellies, we are getting them in Ctenophora phylum. And why the name is comb jelly? Because they have 8 comb plates. So they have 8 comb plates, and these comb plates are actually helping them for their locomotion. It helps them for their locomotion. And as they have 8 comb plates, from here they are named as comb jellies. And why jelly? Because they have the gelatinous body, jelly-like body. Hence they are named as comb jellies. They are also named as sea walnut or sea gooseberries because their morphology is like walnut. So in this picture you can understand that like this walnut, their morphology is like walnut or gooseberry. That's why they are named as sea walnut or sea gooseberries. They are known for beauty because they are beautiful organisms. Because of their structure, they refract light. So they refract light and producing beautiful iridescent displays of color. So they produce beautiful colors as the animal swims, and this is known as bioluminescence because when they swim in the sea, they refract light, and as they refract light, they produce beautiful color, and that is known as bioluminescence, and hence they are beautiful and they are known for their beauty. Okay. Digestion is both extracellular and intracellular. That means sometimes digestion occurs inside the cell and sometimes digestion occurs outside the cell. That's why digestion is both extracellular and intracellular. Skeletal, excretory and respiratory systems are absent. So they don't have any skeletal system because they are jelly-like, right? So they don't have any skeletal system, they don't have any excretory system, and also they don't have any respiratory system. All animals are bisexual. All animals are bisexual or hermaphrodite because we know that bisexual animals are hermaphrodite. That means both male and female reproductive organs are present in a same animal. So if this is the animal, in this animal they have both female organ and male organ. So both male and female organs are present in the same animals. That's why they are known as bisexual or hermaphrodite. They develop some muscles. So they have some muscles in their body. Nerve cells are present toward oral end. So they have actually two ends. One is the oral and one is the aboral. So oral is the front part and aboral is the back part of body. Right. So in the oral or front part of the body, they have some nerve cells. Regeneration and pedogenesis is found. So you can find both regeneration and pedogenesis in these organisms. So what is regeneration? So regeneration is a particular phenomena. So in this phenomena or process, if you cut the body part of the individual, that part will form the missing part of the body. That is called regeneration. So suppose this is the body, okay, and you cut this portion from the body. Now it becomes like that because this part is missing. It doesn't have this part. And because of the regeneration process, again they will develop that missing part. So now that missing part is again developed here. This is called regeneration. And what is pedogenesis? So pedogenesis is the production of offspring by an organism in its larval or juvenile form and elimination of the adult phase of the life cycle. What does that mean? That is, their larva can produce offspring. So their larva can generate offspring, and larva is also called as juvenile form, so they can generate offspring. So it doesn't require adults to generate offspring. That's why they eliminate the adult phase of life cycle. So they don't need any adult phase of life cycle for reproduction purpose. Here from larva, offspring can directly generate. So this is known as pedogenesis. This is known as pedogenesis. This is a peculiar funda, or this is a peculiar thing that is happened in these individuals. Now external feature. So first is the shape. So their shape is either spherical, that is, this is like spherical, otherwise cylindrical, like that, okay, otherwise pear shaped body. So pear shaped is this one, this is the pear shape. So they are either spherical, otherwise cylindrical, or pear shaped. Diameter is 5 to 20 millimeter. So the diameter of their body is 5 to 20 millimeter. So if this is the body, 5 to 20 millimeter is the diameter. Okay. Glass transparency, that I have already mentioned, that they are transparent and they have glass-like transparency. Next is paragastric canal. Okay, so first I will explain the structure from this picture. Okay, so this is the oral part and this is the aboral part. Fine. This is oral part and this is the aboral part. And in the oral part, first of all, we can see here the mouth is present. So they have a mouth or an opening of the body. So this is the mouth. Then they have the paragastric canal. So here you can see this is a canal. And this canal is actually paragastric canal. So this is the gastric canal. So they have two such canals in their body. One is this and one is this. Two. I have already mentioned that they secrete some gelatinous substance and that's why they are jelly-like. So here you can see the gelatinous substance is there in their body. And they have the comb rows. So here we can see these are comb rows or comb plates. So these are some comb plates and these plates are used for locomotion. And then they have a canal, that is this canal. So actually their body consists of number of canals. So first we have seen here paragastric canal and second here one more canal is present. And then they have the tentacular pouch. And the tentacular pouch is this one. This is nothing but the pouch-like structure wherefrom tentacles are arising because they have some tentacles. So here we can see long tentacles they have, right? Long tentacles they have in their aboral part. And those tentacles are actually arising from this tentacular pouch. Okay. And next is funnel. So here you can see this is the funnel-like structure. So this is the funnel. And then they have aboral pole with sense organ. So I have already mentioned that this is the aboral pole. And in this aboral pole, they have some sense organs. So due to those sense organs, they have sense, they can sense something. So those sense organs are actually present in this aboral part. Now we will study these things in text. So paragastric canal, that we already know that they have two such paragastric canals and they are lying alongside the gastric cavity. So this white portion is actually the gastric cavity. Gastric cavity. So this is a cavity and this cavity is actually the gastric cavity and two paragastric canals are found alongside this gastric cavity. Okay. Next is the gelatinous substance. So I have already told what is gelatinous substance. Then they have the comb rows and they run the length of the body. Because you can see here that comb rows are running through the body length and they are covered by cilia. So these are some hair-like projection that are cilia, and comb rows actually help in their movement. Okay. Next is the canal. So this canal and food particles are phagocytosed for intracellular digestion. So in this canal, food particles are phagocytes. So from this gastric cavity, so first of all food enters through the mouth, then through the gastric cavity, and then it comes to the canal, right? So path of food. Okay, so first is mouth, then is gastric cavity, and then it comes to the canal. So food comes to the canal, and here foods are digested intracellularly. So in canal, the digestion occurs. And how the foods are digested? So first of all, foods are getting entered into the cells by the process of phagocytosis. Now foods are entered into the cells. Those cells are found in the canal through phagocytosis, and then foods are digested inside the cell by the enzymatic actions of some organelles like lysosome or some organelles. So foods are getting digested in this way. Tentacular pouch, from the pouch tentacles arise, that I have already mentioned. Funnel, so when food are now digested, so then they will come to the funnel. So number 4 is here, funnel. So first is mouth, second in gastric cavity, third is canal, fourth is funnel. So funnel has some stomach-like function. So they can store food and sometimes help in digestion. Okay. And then after the digestion, some undigested food will be released from the body. That will be through the arboreal pole. Okay. So arboreal pole contains some sense organ. So they have some sense organ I have already mentioned. And the tentacle they have, that is the flexible. These tentacles are flexible. They are mobile. They are elongated organ. And they help to capture food. So tentacles help to capture food. A pair of long solid tentacles are found. So here we can find 2 long solid tentacles. This is 1 and this is 2. In place of nematocyst, special cell, that is lasso cells, present. So tentacles are actually made up of this lasso cell. Okay. So in case of Nidaria, we have found that tentacles are made up of nematocysts, right? Right? And in this case, tentacles are made up of lasso cells. So the cells are different and they help to catch the prey and they help in defense. So tentacles help in catching the prey and in defense, and they also help in capturing food. So the tentacles have two functions. One is food capturing and other is defense. Okay. Locomotion. So locomotion takes place by 8 ciliary complex. So we know that they have these complex, and by using those complex they can move. So they help in the movement. Reproduction. So they undergo sexual reproduction. The ova are formed on one side of the body and the sperms are formed on other side. So in the body they have two sides, right? Two sides. So in one side, suppose in this side ova are formed and in the other side sperms are formed. The matured ova and sperms are discharged into the canals and finally escape by the mouth. So these ova and sperms that are formed in the two sides of the body, and then they are discharged into the canal. So here we know this is the canal, and then from the canal they will finally escape by the mouth. So this is the zone where from they can be released from the body. So they can be released from this mouth. So first of all, ova are formed in one side of the body and sperms are formed in the other side of the body, and then they are discharged into the canal of the body. So these ova and sperm are discharged into the canal of the body and then they finally escape by the mouth. External fertilization occurs. As their fertilization is external, that is outside the body, right? That's why it is required to release the ova and sperm from the body into the outside environment. In this case, the outside environment is water, sea. So ova and sperm are discharged from the body, from the mouth, and then they will fuse and the ova will be fertilized externally or in the sea. Development. So adult develops from larva. So here they have the larval stage. So the sperm and ova fuse and they yield the zygote. Okay, so it is external, and from that zygote they yield larva. So here from larva they will develop adult, and that's why it is the indirect development. That's why this is the indirect development, because in this case larva is required during their life cycle. When larva is required, we say it indirect development, and when adult gets formed from the zygote directly, we say it direct development. So in this case they require larva, that's why it is the indirect development. And in this case the name of the larva is Ctenophore larva. So you need to remember the name Ctenophore larva. It is the free swimming larval state. So this larva can swim in the water. It is the free swimming form and it is Ctenophore larva. Next is the classification. So depending on the tentacles, we can classify them. So the first one is tentaculata. In this case, tentacles are present. So in their body, tentacles are present. Example is Cestum, Ctenoplana, Coeloplana. These are some examples of tentaculata, and they all have tentacles. Next is Nuda. So in this case, tentacles are absent. So they don't have any tentacle. Example is Beroe. So Beroe doesn't contain any tentacle. Okay, so now we will discuss about these organisms one by one. So Cestum, that comes under the class Tentaculata because it possesses some tentacles. Okay, so it is Tentaculata, and it is commonly known as venous girdle. So we identify this cestum as venous girdle also. And the body is greatly elongated horizontally, right? So body is greatly elongated and that is horizontally. So this is the body. So here this is the horizontal. This is the horizontal plane and the body is elongated horizontally and it appears like a ribbon. So in this picture you can understand that the body is ribbon-like and this structure is formed as their body is elongated horizontally. It is usually green, blue or violet color. So it is either green or blue or violet color. Okay, so first we will try to understand from this picture. Okay, so this is the oral part and this is the aboral part, right? So in the oral part we can see that mouth is present. So this is the mouth that is present in the oral part, and here stomach is present. Okay, and then in the aboral part they have some sense organ or statocyst. So in the aboral part they have some sense organs, and those sense organs are also called as statocyst. Statocyst is a sense organ that acts an organ to keep the balance. It helps the organism to keep its balance. So that is done by the statocyst. Okay, and that is found in the aboral part. Okay, this is the swimming plate. Here we can see the swimming plate, and that is having number of cilia. So this is just like a comb plate. This is actually comb plate. Okay, so this helps in their movement or their swimming. So this is the comb plate or swimming plate. Okay, and then they have some canals in their body. So in this case, first we will see this is the canal. This canal is found just beneath the swimming plate. So this is the subgenital meridional canal. So this is the subgenital meridional canal, and this canal is found just beneath the swimming plate. This is canal number 1. And then we will see here one more canal. This is the second canal. So this is actually called subtentacular meridional canal. So this is canal number 2, and in subgenital meridional canal, this is named as subgenital because here the genital organs are actually present. So they are named as subgenital meridional canal. And in their canal 2, it is known as subtentacular canal because from here tentacles are arising. So that's why it is called as subtentacular meridional canal. Okay, and next the third canal they have is the pharyngeal canal. This is the pharyngeal canal. Okay, so this canal is present around the gastric cavity, around the gastric cavity. Hence it is named as pharyngeal canal. So this is the body structure of cestum, and here we can see that out of 8 complete, so we know that normally they have 8 completes. So here 4 are very small and the other 4 are continued all along the arboreal edge of the body. So some completes, that is 4 completes, that are very small. That's why you can't find it that in this picture, but they have the 4 very small completes. And other than those small completes, they also have 4 long completes, and those completes are along the arboreal edge of the body. That means this is the complete. So you can find this complete all along the body, right? So all along the arboreal edge of the body, because this is the arboreal part, right? And in this part you will get these 4 long completes. Okay. The base of the 2 principal tentacles are large and enclosed in sheaths, and numerous small tentacles are continuous the whole length of oral edge. So here in this picture, the tentacles are actually not shown, but in this oral edge actually you will get some tentacles that are not shown in this picture. And the base of the 2 principal tentacles are large. So they have 2 long principal tentacles and their base is large. That is, the 2 principal tentacles are formed from the base, right? Suppose this is the base, and from this base 2 long tentacles are formed, and in this case the base is very large and this base is enclosed in sheath. So it is enclosed in sheath. Okay, and numerous small tentacles. So this is like 2 large tentacles, and they also have numerous small tentacles, and those small tentacles are continuous the whole length of oral edge. So in this oral edge you will find many small tentacles, whereas 2 large principal tentacles are also present, and their base is very large and their base is enclosed by sheath. And they have the only sense organ that I have mentioned, that is statocyst, and that is important to keep the balance, to maintain the balance of the body, and that is found on the arboreal edge. So I have already mentioned this. Next is Ctenoplana. So Ctenoplana also comes under Tentaculata. That means it also has tentacles, right? Okay. So the body is nearly circular in outline. So in this picture you can see that their body is just like a circle and it is flattened dorso-ventrally. So the body is flattened dorso-ventrally. That means the dorsal side or the back side and the ventral side or the front side, both sides are flattened in case of Ctenoplana. It measures about 6 millimeter in diameter. So if this is the diameter, this is like 6 millimeter only. Okay, so its dorsal surface is mostly olive green, brown or reddish in color. Dorsal surface means the back. The back surface or the back portion of the body is olive green, brown or reddish in color. Okay, so now we will try to understand their structure from this picture first. So first of all, here, okay, so we can see that two long tentacles are present. This is one tentacle and this is another tentacle, right? So two long tentacles are present in their body here, and they have the stomach in this part. They have a stomach that is situated in the central part of the body. The stomach is situated in the central part, and they have some sub-transverse costae, and they also have subgenital costae. So the function of costae is not very well known, and they have the statocyst or sense organ that is in the central part of the body. They have this statocyst or the organ that maintains the balance. It is the sensory organ. So it is present in the central of the body, and this statocyst is covered by some tentacles, some small tentacles, right? Here, these are some small tentacles, and these tentacles are surrounding the statocyst sense organ. That's why these tentacles are called as sensory tentacles, because they are covering the sensory organ. Okay, and then they have stomach here. So this is the stomach portion that I have already mentioned. So this total portion is the stomach portion, and they have some pigment spots, and as they have some pigment spots, they produce colors of their body, and they have the tentacle sheath. So here we can find two such tentacle sheath, and from those teeth tentacles are arising, right? Okay, so now we can find in the text that in the center of aboral end of the body is a sense organ surrounded by a ring of small ciliated tentacles. So that we already know that in the central part they have this statocyst, and it is surrounded by some small tentacles, and those tentacles are ciliated. Okay. Okay. Next is the mouth lies in the center of oral surface. So they have the mouth that lies in the center of the oral surface. So you can't see here the mouth, because here only one surface is shown in this picture, that is the aboral surface. As this is the aboral surface, and you can't find the mouth here, but mouth is present in the oral surface. They have two long tentacles that we have seen, and the organs of locomotion are 8 small swimming plates. So they have some swimming plates or comb plates. Swimming plates or comb plates, they help in their locomotion. Okay, next is Coeloplana. So it also comes under Tentaculata. That means it possesses tentacles. Okay. So its body is oval. That you can understand from this picture, that body is oval and dorso-ventrally flattened. That means dorso is the back part and ventral is the front part. So the back part of the body and front part of the body are flattened but elongated in the tentacular plane. So these two are actually the tentacular plane, because tentacles are present there. That's why this is the tentacular plane, and the body is elongated little bit here. Okay. It measures about 60 millimeter in length. So the length is 60 millimeter. Mouth is ventral in position. Okay. So from this picture, we will try to understand the structure first. So this is the dorsal part of the body. This is the dorsal part of the body. That's why in this picture, you will not be able to find those structures that are present in the ventral surface. So as mouth is present in the ventral surface of the body, that is in the front surface of the body, in this picture you can't find the mouth. So here it is the dorsal part, and here we can find that two such large tentacles are present, and around those tentacles here you will get some gonads. In the central part you will get the statocyst. It is the sense organ. It is the organ of balance. So the statocyst is present in the central part. Here you will get some papillae. So papillae are just some folding part of the body. These are some folds. And here you will get one tentacular canal. Tentacular canal, because here you will get a canal. These two are canal, and this is called as tentacular canal because from here two large tentacles are arising. So this is the tentacular canal. One more they have canal, that is the meridional canal. So here this is the meridional canal, and the pharynx is placed here. This is the pharynx portion, and this cavity, this pink one, this cavity is the gastrovascular cavity. So it is the gastrovascular cavity, and I have already mentioned that tentacular sheath they have. So this is the tentacular sheath. No, I think I didn't mention it before. Okay, so tentacular sheath is actually placed around the tentacles. So it is a sheath that is covering the tentacle. So this is the structure of Coeloplana. And they have two tentacles that I have already mentioned. And the sense organ statocyst is dorsally placed, obviously because this is the dorsal part only. So statocyst is present in the central of the dorsal part. Swimming plates are not found. So here we didn't get any swimming plate or comb plate, right? Here we didn't get any comb plate. No comb plate are present. So how does it move? Then it moves by creeping. As it doesn't have any swimming plate or comb plate, it is not able to swim, so it moves by creeping. And the gonads are found in the walls of gastrovascular canals, because now we know what is gastrovascular canal. So these are the gastrovascular cavity, and this is the gastrovascular canal, this canal. The gastrovascular canal and the gonads are located in the wall of this gastrovascular canal. And internal fertilization occurs here. This is the exceptional case, right? This is the exceptional case, because in Ctenophora we have found that the fertilization occurs externally, right? Fertilization occurs outside the body. But in case of Coeloplana, the internal fertilization occurs. The fertilized eggs, so the fertilization is internal, that means eggs and sperms fuse inside the body, and when eggs are fertilized by sperms, they are attached to the oral surface of the mother. So they are attached to the oral surface. These fertilized eggs, these are attached to the oral surface by the sticky secretion. So mothers actually secrete some sticky substances, and those substances are found in the oral surface in their mouth, and these fertilized eggs are first attached to this secretion that is found in the mouth, and each developing into a typical Seripa larva with complex. So in the mouth where they have the sticky secretion, in that part the fertilized eggs are first placed, and when the fertilized eggs are attached to that sticky secretion, they will form the larva. So Seripa larva will be formed from those fertilized eggs, and these Seripa larvae have they can actually swim. So they have the free swimming capability, whereas the adults can't swim. They only can creep, but the larvae can swim, so they freely swim for some time, and then the metamorphosis occurs. So when the metamorphosis occurs, the free swimming ability of the larva is lost, and then the larva is growing to the adult, and the adult Coeloplana will be produced from the larva, and that adult organism can't swim, it only moves by creeping. Next is Beroe. So Beroe comes under the class Nuda because it doesn't have any tentacles. Does not have tentacles, right? So they are commonly known as sea meteors or meteor jellyfish. Okay, so they have some other names also, sea meteor and meteor jellyfish, and its body is thimble shaped. So thimble means the metal tube like. So here if you see this picture, you can understand that the body is just like a metal tube, and that's why it is called as thimble shaped, and it measures about 10 to 20 centimeter in height. So this is the height, that is quite long, 10 to 20 centimeter. Okay, it is usually pinkish in color, although you can't understand that from this picture, but it is pinkish in color. The rounded aboral end bears the sense organ. Okay, so from this picture we will understand fast. So this is the mouth part, that means this is the oral part, right? And this is the aboral part. Okay, So mouth is present in this oral part, and here they have both ovaries and spermaries. So from these, ovum and sperm can be formed, and they have meridional canal, because we know that these organisms possess number of canals, so they have the meridional canal. And then in the aboral part they have the sense organ. So this sense organ is located in the aboral part, and the aboral part is rounded, right? Aboral part is rounded. And then they have the stomach. It is also in the aboral part. They have the stomach, and they have stomodil canal. So from the stomach, the canal that is arising, and it is coming in this way. So this is the stomodil canal. It is arising from the stomach. Now the oral end is occupied entirely by a wide mouth. So this is the wide mouth. This is the wide mouth, and this is found in the oral edge of the body. Tentacles are not found in any stage of life. They don't have any tentacles. You will not get tentacles in their larvae form or adult form. That's why they belong to the class Nuda, which doesn't have any tentacles. A small stomach is placed near the sense organ, that I have already mentioned, that near the sense organ in the aboral end, the stomach is placed. So it is a voracious feeder. So this is very important to remember, that Beroe is voracious feeder, and voracious feeder means they want large quantities of food. So they want large quantities of food, and they swallow crustacean and sometimes other ctenophores even larger than itself. That's why they are known as voracious feeder, because they are always hungry and they want large quantity of food. Even they can take up the food or animals, those are larger than their body. That's why they are known as voracious feeder.
If you like our video, please hit the like button, share this video with your friends and colleagues, and please don't forget to subscribe to this channel so that you get more and more of this kind of video in future. Thank you.